Good morning, everyone. For today's topic, we will going to discuss about street children under difficult circumstances. So, I have here the graphic organizer showing different kinds of problems facing by children under difficult circumstances. I have here victims of war, product of a broken family, children from improvised family, victims of abuse, and street children. So now, what is a street child or street children? So a street child is a boy or girl for whom the street, including unoccupied dwellings, wasteland, etc., has become their home and or their source of livelihood. These children are inadequately protected or supervised by responsible adults. So they may have no family member or may have been abandoned by their family. Struggling for survival, they might move from friend to a friend or live in a shelter such as abandoned buildings. So I have here pictures of children in the Philippines. So now I have here the three categories of street children in three distinct groups. So I have children on the street, children of the street, and completely abandoned children.
And now let's talk about children on the street. Approximately 75% of street children in the Philippines fall under the category of children on the streets. These children often work or engage in activities on the street but have a home to return to after their work is done. They may sell goods, beg for money, or perform various tasks to support themselves and their families.
So next, we have children of the street. So children of the street are those who have made the streets their home. They live and sleep on the street, often forming their own communities or families with other street children. They highly self-reliant and depend on each other for survival and support. So children of the street are completely living on the street and no home to return to. And lastly, the completely abandoned children. So the third category is composed of completely abandoned children. So completely abandoned children who have no family ties and are entirely on their own for survival. These children face immense challenges as they lack of support and care provided by a family members or a family unit, making them highly vulnerable to exploitation and abuse. So additionally, street children are exposed to the climatic and environmental impacts that affect urban areas. So rising sea levels, natural disasters, and environmental degradation pose significant threats to their well-being. So without adequate protection or support system, these children bear the brunt of environmental vulnerability. So the consequences of poverty and the lack of access to education and social services are prevalent among street children in the Philippines. So they struggle to find stable and secure source of income, perpetuating the cycle of poverty. Education opportunities are limited, very limited, depriving them of the chance to acquire crucial knowledge and skills for a better future. Social discrimination adds to the challenges they face as they are often marginalized and overlooked by society. Next, problems facing by the street children in the Philippines. So, street children in the Philippines face a multitude of challenges. The most significant is being poor or in poverty phase. So, and it's a various repercussions. These children often live below the poverty line, struggling to meet their basic needs and lacking access to essential services. So, the urban areas in particular bear witness to the harsh realities faced by these vulnerable children. Next, I have here the challenges and its impact to the street children in the Philippines. So, under the challenges is lack of access to basic needs, limited educational opportunities, frequent exposure to violence and exploitation, marginalization and social discrimination, and its impact is malnutrition, poor health, and compromised physical, mental development, and inability to acquire essential knowledge and skills for their future. Physical and psychological trauma, increased risk of abuse, and lastly, exclusion from opportunities and resources, perpetuating the cycle of poverty. Furthermore, poverty denies street children access to quality healthcare. Lack of financial resources prevents them from receiving a proper medical attention, increasing their vulnerability to disease and overall health deterioration. So the absence of basic healthcare services intensifies their struggles and perpetuates the cycle of poverty. The impact of poverty on street children goes beyond material deprivation. So it is also affects their emotional, social, psychological well-being. So living in a poverty exposes them to a range of risk, including substance abuse, exploitation, and violence. These adverse experiences deeply affect their growth and can lead to long-term physical and mental health issues. Next is impact of poverty on street children in the Philippines. So, poverty in urban areas is a significant contributing factor to the high prevalence of street children in the Philippines. So, children from impoverished families are more likely to end up on the streets, facing numerous challenges that exacerbate their vulnerability and hinder their development. So, one of the main consequences of poverty is the limited access to the education. Impoverished family often struggle to afford school fees, uniforms, and supplies, forcing their children to forego education and seek alternative means of survival. So, without a proper education, these children face limited opportunities for a better future. So, recognizing the plight of street children in the Philippines, various initiatives and programs have been implemented to provide support and opportunities for these vulnerable individuals. These efforts aim to address the underlying issues of poverty and lack of access to education and social services by offering outreach programs, shelter, counseling and vocational training. This initiative strives to improve the lives of street children and empower them for a better future. First, let's talk about the outreach program. So one of the key initiatives to help the street children in the Philippines is the implementation of outreach programs. These programs involve dedicated teams, volunteers who actively reach out to street children, providing them with much needed assistance. So through outreach program, street children are offered basic necessities such as food, clothing, and hygiene kits. Furthermore, these initiatives offer counseling services to address the emotional and psychological needs of these children, helping them to navigate the challenges they face on the street. Next is shelters. Another important initiative is the establishment of shelter specifically dedicated to street children. So these shelters provide a safe and nurturing environment where children can find temporary refuge from hardships of life on the streets. So within these shelters, street children are provided with accommodation, healthcare, and educational support. So the goal is to create a conducive atmosphere for their personal, emotional, and intellectual development. Next, counseling. So counseling plays a crucial role in supporting street children in the Philippines. So it helps these children address the trauma they may have experienced on the streets and others aspects of their lives, and offers guidance and emotional support. And trained counselors work closely with street children to build trust, provide a platform for self-expression, and help them develop life skills. So counseling sessions empower these children to overcome their challenges, make positive decisions, and envision a brighter future. And lastly, vocational training. So equipping street children with vocational skills is essential for their long-term rehabilitation and integration into society. So vocational training programs provide practical skills and knowledge, enabling these children to gain employment opportunities and become self-reliant. So the training can range from various fields such as culinary arts, woodworking, sewing, or computer literacy. So by acquiring these skills, street children can secure sustainable livelihood and break the cycle of poverty. So, street children in the Philippines endure immense hardship and face violation of their fundamental rights. So, it is crucial to address the root cause of their situation, so which include widespread poverty and limited access to education and social services. So to make a real difference, it is essential to support organizations and initiatives that strive to uplift these vulnerable children and provide them with the assistance they need. So effort must be made to tackle poverty in urban places and create opportunities for sustainable livelihoods by investing in education and vocational trainings. So we can equip street children. Effort must be made to tackle poverty in urban areas and create opportunities for sustainable livelihoods. So, by investing in education and vocational training programs, we can equip street children with the skills necessary to break the cycle of poverty, to build a better future for themselves, and access to healthcare and social services should be improved and to ensure their well-being. So we must work together to advocate the rights of street children in the Philippines and raise awareness about their plight. So through collaboration between NGOs, government, agencies, and communities, we can strengthen child protection programs and create supportive environment that nurtures and safeguard the rights of every child. So our collective efforts can provide hope and transformation to the lives of street children in the Philippines. So empowering them to overcome adversity and reach their full potential. So this street child project also aids children who go back to the formal school system. For older teens, the product conducts trade and tech skills training to help them gain income to support themselves as well as their families. So what does a STEP program do? So STEP program is a Child Hope Philippines effort to provide quality education for a street child living in the urban poor areas of Metro Manila specifically. So guided by the Caring, Healing, Teaching framework, this program has 4 major parts. So the 4 major parts of STEP program is education, psychosocial intervention, health and medical services, and skills development. So the number 1 of it is education. So in an effort to bring education closer to the street children, Child Hope Philippines has come up with Calle Escuela, a project which literally translates to school on the streets. So they are mobile vans with audiovisual equipment to conduct classes. So under the Alternative Learning System, or ALS, accredited by the Department of Education, or DepEd, street children and youth learn through modules with guidance from street educators. So this street child project also aids children who go back to the formal school system. For older kids, the product conducts trades and tech and skills training to help them gain income to support themselves as well as their families. So the second is the psychosocial intervention. So through counseling and referrals, the Child Hope team helps the kids and their families to cope up with the stress and the challenges that they face while learning. So the team also assists shelters, especially those with neglected and abandoned children. So the third is health and medical services. So to provide a primary preventive medical care, consultations and treatments to street children, Child Hope Philippines Clinic Calle. So a mobile health clinic that part of the street education program ensures that every street child is healthy and in full of physical capacity to learn. And lastly, skills development. So, as part of nurturing holistic growth, the Child Hope team plans and conduct activities for street child. So, they train each kid for leadership roles, computer literacy, sports, arts, and other useful life skills. So, the team helps the street children to develop these skills, build upon their good traits, and apply the values they have learned in life. So, in life planning. So, who are the target participants of this kind of program? So, Child Hope Philippines aspire to help the three types of street children in the Philippines grouped by the United Nations Children's Fund or UNICEF. So the number one of it is children who reside in the street. So they are those who run away from their families and live alone in the street. Second is children who work in the street. So this include those who spend most of their time in the street but still go back to their homes. So the last one is children from the street family. So they are also lived with their families in the streets. Education plays a vital role in promoting social integration and inclusion for street children. So by attending school, these children have opportunities to interact with peers from diverse backgrounds, fostering social cohesion and breaking down the stereotypes and prejudices. So efforts like Child Hope Philippines, STEP program, and global initiatives are crucial in ensuring that street children are not left behind and have access to inclusive and quality education. That could be all, ma'am, and thank you and have a good day.